Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is December 19th, 2018, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, we start out at 11:30 out of United Kingdom yearly CPI number coming out. Now, in light of the Brexit fiasco that Great Britain is currently facing, I'm not sure that these numbers are really going to make that big of a weight on the GBP, but you do want to know that the number is coming out. Now, later in the day, and the real major events of the day is the FOMC fund rate coming out of the United States. That's going to be at 9 o'clock South African time, and it's going to be followed with a press conference at 9:30 South African time. Now, all the markets are really looking at this, and you can see that the markets are already anticipating some sort of number. Okay, if we look at the Forex symbols, currencies are tapering off on the higher side of the range versus the USD. In terms of the indices, Dow Jones is back on the bottom of the range around 23,730-ish level. If we look at the commodities, oil continues to slide below after breaking the $50 a barrel price, which was a major correction. Gold looking to break out again at 1250. All the scenarios there, okay? All the pieces are there for a kind of doomsday scenario of possibly touching recession, possibly not. But you see that the momentum has fully come into fact that we're no longer in a bull market. Okay, that's solidified. Now, lastly, looking at the stocks, they failed to sustain their rally, which is like everything is put together. Okay, the Forex symbols are tapering off, commodities, oil is sliding, gold is on its high end. All the pieces are there to give us a doomsday scenario. So looking at the markets, let's see what we can expect from today's trading. So we mentioned this a few times. We're looking at the Euro USD here, and you can see that we've pretty much set ourselves up with a top range and a bottom range after a very volatile time, selling off from 125-ish level down to 112-ish level, and then finally consolidating around this area. Now, today's scenarios are the following. Okay, if we don't break above this 114-ish level, I'd actually look to just put some feelers out there, maybe before the number, just very small, just to see if there are any correctional moves on the downside in the anticipation that the dollar will get stronger. Okay, the Fed is going to have to taper off at a certain point. Now, jumping into the Aussie USD, we were there at the bottom of the range. So this is what it was a little bit disconcerting, because on the euro, the dollar is on the top of the range, and in the Aussie, it's at the bottom of the range. Okay, it's not trading in tandem. Okay, so this might be a sign where the euro may catch up to the Aussie dollar. So we got to look at that and see how this actually freights throughout the day. Now, I did mention gold earlier this morning. We're trading at that 1250 resistance right there. Okay, if we look at that daily chart, that's the next real resistance. Okay, really breaking out. And the next real resistance level is 1270. Okay, so you do still have some way to go above if we do break this 1250. Might not happen today again, but we are on an upside trend on the gold, which comes to relate to the Dow Jones in such a way that Dow Jones may be touching on a recession. Okay, the United States economy, not the Dow Jones itself is touching the recession, but the US economy, and that's reflected with the Dow Jones, and seeing that there's no momentum, there's no impetus, there's no reason the markets need to go higher, and gold kind of takes that momentum on the upside where the Dow is failing. Now, looking here at the price of oil per barrel, this is really squeezing everybody out of the market. We're looking at Canada, we're looking at Russia, we're looking at Iran. All these countries that are dependent on oil are being affected tremendously by it. Not to mention Saudi Arabia, obviously, but they have enough cash reserves to, weather the storm, so to speak. So everybody's eye is on this. Okay, if we look at a weekly chart, you can see that we are at 46.41 right now. If we next real support level is at 42.70. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at. And this to sell off at this time of the year is a tremendous weakness for the price of oil. So just be aware of that. Now, lastly, looking at the Dow Jones, you can see that we're at this bottom of this range. We're currently trading at 23,720, a little bit below what I mentioned before. But you can see that we have a little bit of a support level here. Okay, if we look at this area, you can see that we hit it back last year at this time exactly at 23,700-ish level. Okay, we've touched 23,500-ish level, but we haven't broken below that. Okay, with this in mind, okay, if there's going to be any sort of correction, if there's any impetus to change the market's direction, this would be it. I'm afraid that if we do break this level, we could see ourselves back into the 20,000-ish level. Okay, that's how far I believe that the correction may take. Now, lastly, this relates back to the price of gold, because if we do see this correction falter further, then we could definitely see gold go back to the 1300 to the 1350 area. Not to question that. Okay, so that's for sure a possibility. Now, looking at Apple, you can see that we're consolidating here at 165-ish level. Facebook also consolidating. Stocks are not really carrying the market lower, and all eyes are on the Fed right now. Last Fed rate decision, which was in November, the markets then crashed. Okay, we were trading at 26,000-ish level, 26,300-ish level to be exact. And so all eyes are on the Fed right now, as this is the last number of the year. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.